Welcome to the Morale Booster Network, a platform for entrepreneurs, career professionals, leaders, and the general public to give back to the society through coaching and mentoring. I remain your host, Dr. John Ugulu. I am an author, speaker, and strategist. I always say experience is the best teacher. You can stream or download this podcast from YouTube, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Music, Google Podcast, Player FM, and Pandora. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Hi, Morale Boosters. Welcome to another beautiful episode. And today I am here with a guest who happens to be in the state of Georgia, where I reside. And I want to welcome everybody again. If you are just joining us for the very first time, I want you to please remember to like, leave a comment, and share this broadcast. Why? It's because you might just be saving the life of that one person who has been waiting for a lifetime to hear the message that we will be sharing today. Every day above ground is a blessed day, and it doesn't matter what your challenges are. Always remember that you are blessed with the gift of life, and that's why you can hear me. And if you are genuinely happy wherever you are, if you're genuinely happy to be alive this moment, I want you to place your hand on your chest and say, I am blessed. Yes, you are blessed because you have the opportunity to set new goals. You have the opportunity to start all over. You have the opportunity to become a better version of yourself. All right. So today we are thrilled to welcome our special guest, Erica Miller. Now, Erica helps professionals get paid and promoted on purpose. As a best-selling author, a career coach, and motivational speaker, Erica can help you navigate life, leadership, and legacy with clarity and confidence. So, ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, please join me as I welcome to the stage this guest, Erica Miller. Erica, thank you so much for joining me on this program today.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, great, great. Thank you. And you're doing amazing. You're doing great work, not just for yourself, for others, because that's what
Mhm.
purpose is all about. Is that correct?
That is absolutely correct. Yes.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you for all you do, and we pray that God will continuously bless you, grant you more grace, more wisdom, knowledge, strength, and most importantly, good health to
Thank you.
continue or to keep up with the good work that you
I
do.
receive it.
Amen. 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 Yes, 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 yes. You know, they say words are powerful, right?
Absolutely.
Yes, words are powerful. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and
Yes.
the Word was God. You know, with words, we're all here today, right?
Mhm.
God created the world using words. All right. So thank you so much. And I have so many questions for you.
Okay.
Yeah, because this platform is a platform that we have created to help members of our community. We call them the morale boosters.
hmm
Um, the goal is to motivate and inspire them to take action. And I know that's what you do,
hmm
help people live a life of purpose. So I have so many questions that I know would help us activate somebody out there. I don't know who that person is, but I know for sure those questions will be meaningful. So let me go straight to my first question if you're okay with that.
Yes.
Okay, great. Now you often say you help professionals get paid and promoted on purpose,
hmm
right? Can you share what that word on purpose truly means in the context of career growth and how professionals can start aligning their goals with it, which means we want to know what that word on purpose in what you do truly means in the context of career growth. How can you help our people who are listening to you grow on purpose?
Okay. So, what I like to do, I always like to play on words. So when I say on purpose, not only does it mean a strategy of how to get you there, of working on your cover letter, working on your resume, working on your LinkedIn and SEO, it also means my purpose. It's my purpose. I believe that everyone on this earth has a purpose that they need to fulfill. And my purpose is helping people through philanthropy, through getting them promoted, through getting them extra pay, through helping them navigate different roadblocks, especially people of color. I think that that's why I put that on purpose. It's my purpose, and on purpose, I'm helping you with their strategy and getting paid and promoted through all of those elements, because sometimes 60% of women negotiate their salary versus 99% of men who negotiate their salary. So a lot of women leave money on the table when it comes to what to do in your cover letter, how to write it out. It's a strategy for it. Even with resume building, you're supposed to spend 2 to 4 hours on a resume. You're supposed to look at the job posting and make sure your job posting matches up with your resume. So all of those intricate details is what I'm teaching people, to do, what our people don't know. And this is how you advance in whatever career you want to advance in, and even in the entrepreneur element, because I'm both. I'm in my career. At one point in time, I was a full-time entrepreneur. I wish somebody taught me how to do something. I wish somebody put a book in my hand and said, read this. This will help you. So I am living in my purpose on purpose.
Wow, thank you so much for sharing. And and you touched a very vital point. You said people leave so much money on the table for lack of knowledge,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because sometimes a lot of us think we know even when we actually don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And getting up, picking up the phone and calling somebody to help you could just be the only solution. But sometimes we neglect those little things.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm glad you are doing that. You're helping as many people as you possibly can to not leave stones unturned. We
Mm-hmm.
should be able to tap into every area of life. And thank you so much for all you do. People really, really, really need what you do. So now in your journey, you talked about um, being a full-time entrepreneur at
Mm-hmm.
some point. I know there's so many people right now, especially with what is going on in the country, who
Mm-hmm.
want to transition from employment to entrepreneurship.
Mm-hmm.
What's your advice for that person who has never done business, but because of all they see on the internet these days, we're talking about the shiny object, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because of all those things they see on the internet these days, some of them want to quit their jobs without having any prior experience in entrepreneurship. What would be your advice for that morale booster, the member of our community who's listening to us right now?
I would ask them, are they ready? Right? Because some people can have it in the back of their mind, oh, I want to quit my job, and don't have a plan. So, are you ready? If you're ready, do you have a plan? Have you created that business plan for your particular business that you're trying to start? Have you networked? Have you cultivated relationships? Have you done the market research on what your product is? What's the demographic that you're going to cater to? Have you done your go to market? How you're going to launch your particular project or product or your particular service? So, those are all of the questions that I would ask, because being an entrepreneur is not easy. A 9 to 5, I tell everybody all the time, a 9 to 5 is better, because when you're off at 5, you're off at 5 in some cases. If you're higher up in leadership, that may fluctuate, but you are getting a steady paycheck. You have steady benefits. You know where your money is steady going. You can kind of predict how your 30, 60, 90 day is going to look, versus the entrepreneur. You can't do that. You don't know if your customer who said they're going to be there is actually going to show up. You don't know how your 30, 60, 90 day is going to look financially. You are really have to market your brand and are your brand. So it's different caveats to that, to entrepreneurship versus a 9 to 5. A 9 to 5 makes you a little bit more comfortable. And even after they let you go, if they lay you off, you get severance for about 6 to 8 weeks. So you have a little comfort there and to find an employment. But I'm noticing it's taking people up to a year to find another job, which, you talked about the new administration and what's happening here. But with entrepreneurship, you really just don't know. You really have to get up every day, even when you're tired. You really have to put in every day, even when you don't have the energy to. You really have to talk every day, even when you feel like being quiet. You have to get up and get out and do it. And that's the unfortunate thing of entrepreneurship, but it's freedom, it's learning, it's growing, it's if something don't work out, you're picking yourself back up and you're figuring it out. It's teaching, it's learning, it's all of those elements that make you and build you to be a stronger person, inside out, I think. With entrepreneurships, it's so much. I learned a lot about finance as an entrepreneur. When you're paying and you're supporting, helping other people's lives. A wife worked for me who helped with her husband and her children. A college student worked for me who needed books and supplies. So those elements help you and motivate you because you're making contributions to other people's households as an entrepreneur.
Right. Thank you so much. You touched a lot of beautiful points there. And there are so many people too who think right now they're working too much on their job. They're spending too much, too many hours working, and that, they're desperate to get into entrepreneurship because they think they only need to work 1 hour a day and 1 hour a day and no longer need to work 9 to 5. There's so many people I know. We have a large community.
Mm-hmm.
The morale booster community we're growing pretty fast, and I know that there's so many people right now in this community who are listening or who are watching us who are of that mindset that
Mm-hmm.
they work 9 to 5 or they work 12 hours a day on their employment, and they just need to get rid of that job right now so they can get
Mm-hmm.
into their own business where they can work only 1 hour a day. Is that possible? Or is that a myth?
That is definitely a myth. Now, there are some companies, one of them is Rise, where you pay for your own background check, and basically you are a 1099 contractor. You make up your own hours, and it's like customer service. But working 1 hour a day is not going to get you to building wealth. That's not going to get wealth. And most entrepreneurs who are making 6, 7, 8 figures, they've been at this for years. It's not an hour. You have to put in the work. You have to be visible. You have to find a strategy. You have to have an offer. You have to have a funnel in place. It's a lot of different things. Like, the world is changing and evolving so fast, especially with AI, with the automatic generation. Comment this and you'll get this sent to your inbox. So it's so much that you have to learn and constantly learn, to stay up to par to even bring in a little income. So no, working 1 hour a day, that's not, no, that's not a
Right.
reality of the situation.
That's not a reality. Thank you so much for sharing that. As an entrepreneur, to everybody who's listening right now, in fact, for everyone who's listening right now, this is a very important conversation. If you have not already shared this broadcast, I want you to do that. Share this broadcast to all your social media networks or platforms, because you might just be saving the life of that one person who has been waiting for a lifetime to hear this message. And like what Erica just said, it is not a reality that when you transition from a job, when you abandon, when you quit your day job or your employment, you would be working only 1 hour on your business. It's not possible. As a new entrepreneur, the grind will be more than
Mhm,
that which you're currently experiencing on your job. Have that at the back of your mind. It's
mhm,
never going to be easier transitioning from employment to entrepreneurship. And that's why we bring in people like Erica who can guide you, who can hold your hand so you don't just act based on impulse, because it's very
Mhm.
easy, especially now with the social media thing. You see all these people coming out there showing all the wealth, the success, or the money they've made, and they never tell people that they've been on that grind for 20 years or 15
Mhm.
years, you know.
Yep.
Or- so everybody just only sees the result,
Yep.
right? And we want everybody who's listening, if you are thinking of quitting your job right now because of what you see on social media every day, or because of what you think is possible, be slow about it. Don't just jump into it. All right,
Mhm.
is that correct, Erica?
Yeah, I would definitely say have a plan, have an exit plan, have an exit strategy, and also have a certain amount that you want to make sure in your bank account or that you want to make sure that you're selling on a consistent basis as far as customers go. So you want to make sure that if you quit your job, you still have that income that's coming in that's necessary. But definitely don't just quit without a plan. You definitely have to have a plan. When I opened my salon, I quit my job in May and I had some pension saved up and I had some 401k. The thing is, when you have businesses like that, you never supposed to use your own money. That was a lesson that I learned. I utilized my own money. So I had at that time $8,000 that I had. And then in February, I opened up a brick and mortar. So it took me probably about 7 or 8 months before I opened up my brick and mortar. But I already had clientele when I quit my job. So I was bringing in that constant income. And I gained income by growing my clientele over those 8 months before I got a brick and mortar. But this is the thing, when I got the brick and mortar and my prices had to go up because of the brick and mortar, you now have an extra gas bill, you now have an extra water bill, you now have an extra light bill, you now have an extra cable bill, and now you have an extra rent. So, of course, you have to accommodate that shift in inflation when it comes to your prices. And some of your customers are not going to follow you when your prices increase. They're going to go to somebody else. So you have to keep all of that in mind as well. So definitely have a strategic plan, map it out, have a certain amount of money in your bank account, already have applied for grants or business loans to help you along the way as a cushion for your particular business as well.
Right, thank you so much for sharing that. And to everybody who's listening, there is no shortcut. Don't think you want to quit your job and put your 401k in trading stocks and you double it within 1 week or 1 month. Nah, that's another shining object. You would watch your 401k drop from whatever it is to like zero. So
Mm-hmm.
don't do that. That's why we're telling you, plan, have a plan. All right, have a plan, have a mentor. People like Erica, they are there to guide you. All right. So thank you so much, Erica, for sharing those powerful gems. Now, in your journey as a career coach, Erica, and also a motivational speaker, what's one major mindset shift you believe is critical for turning leadership potential into a tangible legacy?
I think self confidence.
Mm.
Like, you have to change your state of mind. And I talk about this in my book, From Struggle to Success, $6 to Six Figures, because some people don't have the right mindset. Some people are pessimistic. Some people don't feel like they have self value, self worth. Some people are not motivated. It all starts in your mind. Your mind is just like a machine. You're entering information into it, you're telling it what to do. You have to program your mind in order to get in that position. So the reason being is because every day is not going to be cookies and cream. Every day is not going to be cookies and cream. There are going to be some days where you want to holler, you want to cry, you want to scream. Some days it's going to be hard. You're not going to have energy. And your mind is what pushes you. Your mind is what say you have to do this. There's no option B or C. We got to go with A. A has to work. So that's why it's important for your mind to be together. If you're not constantly training your mind, drinking water, the way you eat, walking, moving a little bit, reading, all of those are beneficial to training your mind, but you have to be in the right mindset. That's number one. You just have to be in the right mindset. And if you're not in the right mindset, you have to figure out a way to get in the right mindset in order to move forward, in order to think positive, because you're going to have challenges along the way, and you have to be strong-willed to continue going.
Yes, thank you so much for sharing. Self confidence is a major thing, and you made mention of your book. Could you please tell us about your book? Your I know you have written several books. Is that correct?
Yes.
How many books have you published in total?
This is my fourth book, and this book actually is a bestseller.
Wow, that's great. Congratulations to you. That's
Thank you.
awesome. You're making an impact. You know, books are great legacies
Mm-hmm.
because our books will outlive us.
Mm-hmm.
Our books will live longer than, like, way, way longer than us on earth, right?
Mm-hmm.
It will. It will. Just like I was telling you before we got on this program. I said I've come to realize that so many people want to write books. Some have already published books, and some are, you know, currently selling their books, trying to get to bestseller. And one thing a lot of authors don't put into consideration is the legacy part of it,
Mm-hmm.
right? Selling your books is one thing, but having people to actually read it, because we write books so people can read it, right? We write
Mm-hmm.
books so people can read it. That's the if you sell 1,000 books and nobody reads it, it makes no sense,
Mm-hmm.
right? So, and I believe you have programs where you can also coach authors who are just coming up. Is that correct?
Yes, so if they're needing help with publishing, creating a format, getting the cover, I can walk you through all of that. You can just book a consultation on my website at
Mhm.
www.everythingericaL.com. That's everythingericaL.com.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. So, tell us about your most recent publication, your most recent book.
So from $6 to six figures, basically it talks about how um, me being 16 years old and pregnant with twins, working at Wendy's, making $6. And I talk about that, and I'm so transparent about that because people look at me now and that people don't see the past and what I've been through. And that's a little bit what we discussed. I've been through a lot. It took a lot to get here, but I talk about some of my journey and how I got into a six-figure career and making six figures. Was it easy? Absolutely not. Did I have challenges? Absolutely. There were times I slept in my car. I didn't have anything. There were times I had 69 cents in my bank account. But I wrote this book because of the same way that I came up doesn't have to be your journey. It can be easier for you, with this blueprint to help you build that. And inside of the book, it has journals and places that you can take notes. And it's also a 30-day challenge in the book. Basically, if you're working a job, are you matching your 401k? Some jobs do a 3 to 7% match based on what you put in your 401k. That can increase your wealth because guess what? When you leave the company, you can take your money with you. You'll just be taxed on it a little bit. Also, stock. Does your company offer stock? Because if they offer stock, it's at a discounted rate and you can purchase more of that stock and then sell the stock if you need to. But I know a whole bunch of people get stock during the year, and then Christmas time sell all their stock, and they have about $3,000 to $5,000 to spend for Christmas. So, are you doing the necessary things? There is about less than 20% of people who have $200 in their savings account. So in this book, it walks you through how you can save. A lot of people think like, oh, I need to put 1,000 to the side, or I need, but people don't realize $1 and $5 add up really quick. If you put those things to the side, by the end of the month, you'll have your $300 saved. So it's a 30-day challenge in the back of the book that you can actually walk through and execute. And I guarantee you, you'll have some savings and you'll have a different state of mind when it comes to your financial being. It's hard right here for a lot. I've known people who haven't had a job for a year, a whole year. You know how tough that is? So we have to be proactive versus reactive. Just for a people of color, we have to try to be prepared before we actually get those letters saying that we have to go. We have to be proactive versus reactive, and this book helps with that.
Wow, thank you so much for sharing. To everybody who's listening, she just encouraged us that if we are not proactive, then we will be reactive. And we must and we should always do everything within our power not to be reactive.
Mhm.
So we must be proactive. So tell us, where can we get your book? Where can we buy them from?
So you can go on Amazon, but I would suggest if you want to support me directly, you can go to my website again at www.everythingericaL.com. That's everythingericaL.com. Or you can always go on Amazon, Kindle, and of course, I'm on Audible.
All
If
right,
you don't
thank
like
you.
to read, you can also listen.
Oh, okay. That's great. 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 So I'm sure every one of you just heard what she said. Her contact information is on the show notes. Just look it up on the show notes right there. Click on her website and you can support her by purchasing a copy today. If you know a friend, a family member, anybody in your circle of influence whom you think that this book will be a great resource for, just share this broadcast to them because the goal is to boost the morale of everybody. Once again, this is the Morale Booster platform. I always want to remind everybody that the criteria for being a member of the Morale Booster Empire is if you have seen any of my motivational posts, if you are listening to our podcast right now, if you have seen any of our motivational reels, automatically you are a member of the Morale Booster Empire. And what do you have to do to retain membership? It is by inspiring people too. All right. Remember to share this broadcast. It is free. Just by sharing it, you might just be saving somebody. You might just be saving somebody who was at the verge of making a harsh decision or making a wrong decision. So, leave a comment, and share it. And go get a copy of this book. Information is power. Thank you so much, Erica, for all you do.
Thank you so much for having
Um,
me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, I have one last question for you. I
Okay.
have too many questions, but I'll try to just ask this last one and we will be done for today so you can, go take care of business. Now, for someone who's feeling stuck in their career or unsure of their next move, what's the first step they can take today, like right now, to move from where they are to clarity and confidence?
Visit my website at www.everythingericaL.com and book a consultation. And I will walk you through it and I will talk you through it. I just got a client from the UK and I met with her yesterday and she talked about her feeling stuck and her not wanting to be a career driven person because now she is a mom. And we talked through all of that. She booked her consultation and she has 6 weeks with me now. So I'm going to motivate her and help her navigate her path. And I can do the same thing for you.
Yes, and that's true. I agree. You must surround yourselves with positive minds only. Always make sure you are in the midst of only quality people, like my communication mentor, Mr. Les Brown, would say. He would say, you must be in the midst of OQP, only quality
Quality
people.
people. Hmm.
Yes, and Erica is one of them. She will be able to guide you, hold your hands, while you're trying to advance your, while you're trying to grow in your career, or if you're trying to make a transition, if you're trying to live a life of purpose, this is somebody who you can reach out to. Send her a DM and she will respond to you. She might not respond as soon as, she might not respond immediately, but she will certainly get back to you. Is that correct, Erica?
Yes, I will. I always follow up.
All right. Yeah. So you can all follow her on Instagram. Her Instagram handle is just right there on the show notes. So just go right now, follow her, leave a comment, and tell her you want her to be your coach or your mentor. So thank you so much for joining us, Erica. It's been a pleasure having you here. I know you're a very busy woman and you need to get back to work. Thank you. I hope when next I invite you to the program, you will be willing to come back and share some words of
Absolutely.
wisdom.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, like I always say, whatever has a beginning surely does have an end. It's about that time for us to draw the curtain. We are excited to share some amazing ways for you, yes, you who's listening to us, to stay connected with our mission and continue to grow together. I want you to know that your support and engagement means the world to us. So if you feel blessed wherever you are or inspired by today's podcast, you can support the work we do here by making a donation to the John Ugulu Foundation. The foundation is committed to providing online coaching and mentoring services to many. So if you'd like to contribute and make a difference today, head over to our website www.johnuhulu.com or click the link in our show notes. If you want to purchase some of our inspirational books, you can also do that via the website johnuhulu.com. And if you want to join our growing community where we support and inspire each other every day, you can subscribe today for just $10 and enjoy the chance to be a repeat guest on the Morale Booster podcast, giving you the opportunity to showcase your products and services. You will also be able to, you will be eligible for nominations. Yes, if you sign up for our $10 membership, you will be eligible for nominations for the Morale Booster Awards and so many other awards. So thank you, everybody, for being a part of this journey with us. Together, we can make a lasting impact and spread positivity in all we do. Remember, today is the first day of the rest of your life. Stay blessed, everybody, and bye for now. Yeah, thank you.